It is our last eShop deals video of 2023. It's been a great year for the channel, so thank you to everyone. But do remember, this is your last chance to enter the Nintendo Switch OLED giveaway, so go ahead and drop a comment down below. We also then have two winners to announce later in the video for two $10 eShop gift cards, and of course we do have two more to give away, and the same idea there. All it takes is a comment. Today then I have 15 games for you all, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and if you do enjoy this video, subscribe. We continue to push closer and closer to 60,000 subscribers, so each one of you makes a huge difference. Alright, with that, let's get into it. Vernal Edge is rarely on sale, but now it's available with a 30% discount, marking a new low price, and this 2D Metroidvania game asks players to explore floating islands. While not the most challenging, it still caters to those with a taste for Metroidvania-style gameplay, offering minimal handholding and requiring a fair amount of backtracking. Now, what sets this game apart, in my opinion, are the visuals. They are stunning. Then the combat system is great too, blending weapons and magic. Really enjoyed the story as well. Here we dive into the secrets of our past on a quest for revenge, set in a world dominated by a power-hungry church. Overall, it's a surprisingly unique experience and it is well worth your time. Hey, it is a modern masterpiece, is once again available at its lowest price with a 50% discount. Now it reigns supreme in the roguelike genre, where players embark on escape attempts from hell, battling through a variety of locations and boss encounters. And as you do progress, you'll unlock new abilities and weapons, and despite occasional frame rate drops and minor stutters during transitions, the game performs incredibly well on the hardware. Excitingly then, a sequel is set to release on Steam next year, and I'm hopeful for a Switch version soon after. For more details, check out my full review in the pinned comments. SIFU is a must-play for beat-em-up fans. The gameplay set in a third-person perspective revolves around ultra-difficult combat and mastering a control scheme that balances offensive and defensive strategies. What makes it unique is its revenge-driven storyline, where you age 7 years each time you do die. Yes, it's a spin on the roguelike formula. Now, as your character ages, your strength and your abilities evolve, impacting the options available from the game's skill tree. Despite a few frame rate issues, I had a blast with this one, and currently it's 50% off and matching the low price. Now, for more details on this one, I'd say check out my review in the pinned comments. Catherine Full Body is back at its lowest price with a 75% discount. I've been a fan of this game since its original release. Now, this latest version expands on the base game by introducing a completely new character and story arc. While some players appreciated this extra content, I will warn, others felt it affected the pacing of the game, but I personally found it really impressive. Also, do note here, this game is for adults only, and I actually featured it on a list this week all about adult video games on the Switch, so do check that out after this video. Now, the core gameplay here then is a puzzle where you basically climb blocks in your nightmares, escaping these different evil forces. The story then alongside this unfolds in a world where those who are unfaithful find themselves trapped in a lethal dream realm while they sleep. Definitely an odd concept, but the presentation and overall design just absolutely incredible. Signalis is a genuinely unique survival horror game where we take on the role of a technician in a dystopian future and we are searching for our lost companion. Now, the game's ambience here is stunning, the mechanics are solid, and it's constantly challenging us with limited inventory and just resources scattered around the world. It even occasionally shifts from its primary isometric viewpoint to a first-person perspective, and this is a transition that really worked for me because they use it during the puzzle-centric sections. Definitely makes things a little bit easier. Now, if the horror element then concerns you, it is not terrifying, more just I guess tense, and the narrative, if I'm being honest, it can get a little bit lost at times. Maybe it was just a little bit too complex for its own good, but overall I was generally impressed. Also as well, it is back here matching the low price. Neon White, one of my favourite games from 2022, comes from Annapurna Interactive. They are known for their knack in discovering gems, and that is very much the case here. It is best described as a first-person parkour action game featuring a unique gameplay concept, and that is essentially you use playing cards as weapons, which can also be discarded for secondary abilities. So for instance, a pistol card might transform into a double jump, or a machine gun card that might transform into a dash. This setup is going to be ideal for speedrunners, offering numerous shortcuts throughout its world. There's some minor slowdown towards the end game, I will say that, but it doesn't take away from the overall experience. The story is also unique as well. You play as a sinner, given a second chance here with a temporary stay in heaven on the condition that you can eliminate demons that have infiltrated it. My review is below and it's 40% off and matching the low price. I wanted to do a quick self-plug then for a video over on XPCorner. We recently covered Signalis Zone Zero from Hoyo first, and they gave me early access to the beta, and I figured Switch fans may be interested in taking a look. I know it's definitely disappointing, we're still waiting on Genshin, but this one definitely might keep you busy. The gameplay, it's an action RPG set in an urban world with parallel realms you must infiltrate, and yeah, I've had some real fun with it. Also, they gave me a pre-registration link, so go take a look if you fancy being one of the first to be diving into the world. I'll put that down below as well, along with my video all about it. Do you want to say as well that this isn't sponsored or anything, nor was that video I dropped, just figure it may be something people would want to learn about. Cyber Shadow draws clear inspiration from the classic Ninja Gaiden series, and it couldn't have chosen a better influence. As a huge fan of that series, I found Cyber Shadow to be a fantastic homage, skillfully recreating the essence of Ninja Gaiden with its stunning pixel art, challenging gameplay, and tight controls. It consistently maintains a high difficulty level as well, which I think is absolutely essential. The only minor issue I encountered was with some platforming sections that just weren't quite responsive enough. These, though, I will admit are rare, and I am still hoping for a sequel. I think it absolutely deserves one. Right now then, it's 40% off and matching the low price, and you can find my review in the pinned comments. They Always Run is a fast-paced action platformer now at a new low price with 40% off. Now you play as Aiden, a free-armed bounty hunter in a futuristic world endowed with fast reflexes and acrobatic abilities. The game's control scheme is incredibly smooth, balancing really well with, I guess, its challenging difficulty. Basically here the enemies are tough, but the combat is heavy and responsive. Now initially there was a game-breaking bug at launch, but it has since been fixed. I also highly recommend this game to fans of just, fast-paced action, especially platformers, or those just looking for something that's a little bit different, but it almost has that old school vibe in its difficulty. You can check out my review in the pinned comment for more details, and yes, that video was released at the point where the bug was present, but I think my enthusiasm for the game is still clear. Nocturnal is another game that impressed me, and now it's 30% off and new at a low price. It's an action platformer where you explore a deadly island to discover what happened to your brothers and to liberate the island from a dark mist. Now the constant presence of the mist and the ability then to set your sword on fire for combat and exploration really does stand out. The game also offers additional abilities like a dodge roll for defense, and also the platforming feels great, which is always good to see. However, it might be too short for some, as it can be completed in right around 4 hours. Now the inclusion of a speedrun option definitely adds replay value if you are someone willing to come back. Star Wars Pinball offers 19 tables inspired by iconic Star Wars movies and TV shows, delivering a fantastic pinball experience, whether you're channeling the power of the Jedi or the Sith, aiding Han Solo, or dueling Darth Vader. The game's unique modes, including Galactic Struggle, Career Mode, Force Powers, talents, even a Cantina jukebox, ensures there's a lot to keep you busy. On top of this then, there is Galactic Tournaments, League Play, and single player options. It really is feature rich. Admittedly, at this point as well, I wasn't even a fan of digital pinball initially, but this game completely changed my perspective, leading me to actually explore more of the genre. It is a perfect tribute to the Star Wars universe, and right now it's 66% off and new at low price. Price of Cards was an unexpected hit for me. This bundle includes the series' 3 entries, The Isle Dragon Roars, The Forsaken Maiden, and The Beasts of Burden. Now at 30% off, that is a new low price. Now these, they are designed like tabletop games, and basically turn-based battles here are using playing cards just for visual representation. While not challenging, the storytelling, the narrators, and the music, they compensate beautifully. A patch allowing then faster gameplay was a welcome addition, as the original was a tad slow, so they're even dropping the occasional updates. My review of the second entry gives a good overview of the series, definitely follows a similar formula across all games. It's more a change in the story and the characters. Individually then, they are available for $14.99 USD or your regional equivalent if you do already own some of these games. White Day, a Labyrinth named school, is now 40% off a new low price. It's a horror game that uses an empty school setting for its creepy atmosphere. It's filled, of course, then with demons, ghosts, and menacing janitors. This first-person game focuses on evasion rather than combat, and the story, it is set on White Day, which is essentially Valentine's Day. You're basically leaving a card in someone's locker only to find yourself trapped in bizarre events. This remaster of a game that was actually once considered one of the scariest out there is relatively tame now by today's standards, even manageable for someone who easily gets scared like myself. I think it just relies on the same jump scare too often, it kind of loses some of its impact. My review then is down below. Our first winner of the week then is KO Nashi, who highlighted that Dave the Diver was a popular pick last week, and a lot of those deals are still live, so do find that video pinned down below. Congrats on the win though, drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, we still have a second winner coming up here shortly in the video. Rogue Legacy 2 is essential for fans of the original or the roguelite genre. It offers continual upgrades and a fresh character each run, with different combat mechanics and even a kingdom building element that will aid you in your quest. The combat and the platforming mechanics here are top notch, especially the boss battles, some epic encounters in here, and the visuals have been beautifully redesigned, hand drawn, and it just absolutely blows the original away. Now despite its standout qualities, it is somewhat underappreciated as it did shadow drop during a direct, so there wasn't much coverage on it and it quickly got forgotten. Now at 40% off, it's a great opportunity to jump in, and I guarantee it won't disappoint. Disco Elysium is a masterpiece. A patch post-launch significantly reduced the load time, so do take note of that when watching my review below. The gameplay as an RPG involves a detective grappling with personal issues while out to solve a murder. It is known for its dark, perfectly pitched writing that tackles challenging themes, complemented then by tabletop style elements and an incredible soundtrack from Sea Power. The voice acting as well is some of the best I've ever heard. Too much going on with this one, honestly, to go into, a lot of detail, so do watch that full review below. Right now then, it's 65% off, matching the low price, and I think it is worth every penny. Our second winner then is Shadow, who also picked up Dave and Nobody Saves the World. Congrats on the win, Shadow. Drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Our final game of the video then, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. It's back with a new low price of 40% off, and this, it's an action RPG prequel to Final Fantasy VII, and I think it shines in this remastered form. It runs great, it's a really good action adventure kind of hack and slash experience, and of course I absolutely adore the Final Fantasy universe. Here you're going to be investigating the disappearance of soldier operatives alongside characters like Sephiroth. The remaster then looks stunning with tweaks alongside that to the battle system, and it has full English and Japanese voiceovers. They even went ahead and added in some new soundtrack arrangements. Its linear mission structure honestly shows its age at times, but doesn't really detract then from the epic battles, and yeah, I personally had a blast with it. My video is down below, and I think it's one of the better looking games on the system. And that is the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. Remember then to drop those comments as well, because it is a chance to enter for our $10 eShop gift card giveaways, as well as your last chance to enter the Switch console giveaway to close out 2023. That winner will be announced in Thursday's video. With that then, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.